Welcome back, my kindred, to Canada by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. In her first match of the Brawl, Val tried in vain to end it without killing her opponent, but ultimately she took a life for the first time. As she was escorted back to her cage, her combat training kicked in. She wrestled a gun from a guard and began methodically shooting down the enemies around her. John finally broke out of his cage with Val's help, but before he could free the others, the fight announcer seized Jack and cut off his arm. Only then did they see his monstrous features and 2 large fangs. How could they possibly escape this demon? Find out now as you return to the world of darkness.
Val, you turn, hearing the sound of flesh parting under a knife. Mm-hmm. And you see Damon Corthall holding Jack by the hair inside his cage, where the back of it has been burst. Wood has splintered and shattered and had been torn. Damon, shirtless, slashing downwards, and you can see Jack's arm has already separated from his body, and arterial spray is shooting out. Mm-hmm. Damon stands there staring at you and John. What do you do?
Val is just hearing echoes of ghosts of dead people that trained her, of just like people who you care about go ugly. People are just meat and demons don't care. And even though it's a terrible move, it's like the instinct of Val is just try to shoot Damon around this boy. Because as soon as that blood is spilling, as soon as it's that gruesome, it just evokes all of that stuff of like, if you're not ready, if you don't fight with every inch, like they won't give you an inch. The demons will not stop.
All right, you open fire trying to shoot around Jack at Damon Corthall. Can you roll me a dexterity and firearms? Mm-hmm. If you want to shoot around Jack, it will be at a -2 die penalty.
That's it.
Can I help her with like words of encouragement? Is there anything I can do?
What are you saying?
You go, Val. No, no, I don't know what I would say like that would actually help. You got this. You got a golden heart.
That said, you open fire. I don't think I can justify dice with it, but it feels very true to John.
Yeah. It's 1 success.
Some say those words actually were detrimental to the effort.
With 5 successes.
Oh, man.
Damon not only dodges your bullets, stepping aside, he leans Jack over and Jack takes one through the torso, causing another point of aggravated damage before he yanks him back. You get the feeling with the blur of speed that you saw, somehow inhuman, faster than possible. You see the fangs on Damon, you hear him laughing maniacally, and you realize impossibly he moved him in front of the path of the bullet and back out of the rest, so he's suffering further but not dying.
Mm-hmm. And that one bullet goes through Jack, and then she also hears, like, you have a heart of gold. And it's like, she just freezes because it's like the gears locking up between these 2 lives and these 2 worlds of what she's supposed to do is so different in both of them. What she was taught to do and care about and act is so different in both of them. And seeing Jack from one world and seeing what has to be some sort of monster from another world, is she just freezes there. She's still on one knee holding the gun up and can't make herself move.
And the camera pans away and cuts to the woods where, Robin, you are sprinting down this path and you see the valet in front of you. She's running as well, but you are running faster. You're going to catch up to her. What do you do?
She's not clearly armed in any way.
No.
I'm going to run past her.
All right. You run up to and then past her, and she goes, oh, fuck.
Phone. Where's the phone?
The house out back. It's at, no, Roll me a social. This will be an intimidation. Add your specialty. She's very scared. She almost got grabbed. People are dying.
Yeah, wink at her to make her feel like she's seen.
Tell her she has a heart of gold.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
You've got a heart of phone. Two successes.
Okay. All right, meets it, beats it. You yell that, and she goes, left. There's a station in the woods to the left. It's about 40 feet.
And just like almost like Looney Tunes, like heels dig into the what are we on, like pavement or dirt or whatever?
It's dirt. Yeah, it's a dirt path.
Yeah, it's just his wrapped feet, but he just digs his heels in and then does like a hard like button hook just to the left.
And you are booking it to the left as you see her continue down the path and run away. You dash forwards and find yourself looking at a station, clearly a tented station with a satellite phone and other pieces of information. Whoever was here must have been called away from the station because it is just folding tables with a sat phone, a map, and some other paperwork. You, I imagine, have eyes for the sat phone.
I do.
So you dash forwards, whispering that number.
Yep.
Normally, I would make you roll for this, but someone made very sure that everyone knew the number, that it was repeated, that it was yelled aloud, that everyone would know this number. And you were sent on this mission by John. So you punch in that number easily, and you hear the sat phone ring, and it picks up after the first ring. Where are you?
Boss Cross, I'm so sorry. It's so bad. We really messed up.
God damn it, you're doing the fucking brawl. I'm close. I think I know where it is. You just got to buy me time. Just buy me fucking time.
Yes, sir.
Fuck. He hangs up the phone.
Taking just a beat before about face and like running back to what would he still be hearing gunfire during these events?
You
or
would have heard some gunfire.
Yeah.
And then you have there's gunfire in the distance. It's sporadic. You're not sure if it's a moment of quiet or a breath between gunshots, but you are there. Can you roll me a wits and awareness?
Yeah, just what's around here.
Mm-hmm.
Wits awareness, that's mental.
Yep, so. Mental, add the 2 die for your specialty because this is a place setup you're not supposed to know about that is equipped for people to move through quickly.
1 success.
1 success. You can see that there is an empty space for rifles. There are also hunting knives. You find 1 hunting knife.
Take a knife, run.
Great. You got the knife. Are you running towards the house or are you running back to the rest of the crew?
Back to my friends.
Back to the rest of the crew. Amazing. You will enter in the next round of combat. John, you have seen Val open fire with her heart of gold and punch around into Jack as you look back and see him bleeding, now missing an arm and with a bullet hole through his mid-upper torso. It's on the right side, below lungs, above a gut shot, but punching through. It's a through and through with the rib cage. He is also spraying arterial blood out of one side. And you see Damon Corthal lean down and open a mouth as blood sprays into his mouth and he swallows, drenched in it, looking at you and says, "Lower your weapons and become something greater than what you are."
Jack, look at me. Jack, focus on me.
What's happening?
Jack.
What's supposed to happen?
Jack, take shallow breaths.
Okay.
Take shallow breaths. Okay. We're going to get through this.
Okay.
Corthal.
Yes.
Let him go. I'll do whatever you want.
You're an interesting fellow. Can you roll me a social?
Okay, that's 2 successes.
Oh, yes, it's less hunger now. You are interesting, but at the same time, she has not put down her weapon. I would estimate this boy has about 60 seconds left before all the blood comes out.
Mr. Corthal, if you please. I just saw bullets, and you moved too quick for them to hit you. I don't think any of these bullets would do anything to you.
Valerie, lower the weapon.
Corthal, please.
Valerie, lower the weapon.
She's slowly going to comply. Her whole body is shaking all over.
Kick it away.
She's just standing there. It is like telling her to take her own arm off. She's slowly just puts it down on the ground.
Kick it away. The boy's bleeding, Valerie.
She'll kick it away.
Excellent. So good. And you find yourself looking around and realize there are 4 figures now. Damon Corthall in place, and 3 other figures that you would recognize as the central forces of the games above. The hangers-on have melted away. It's just these 4 all standing, billowing clothes in the wind, all pale as stone. All illusions of humanity cast aside, and you realize this is not just one demon. This is not just Damon Corthall. There are 4. And in a blur of movement, the guns disappear from around you. And you watch these figures vibrate forward and back. You can't even see the full movement. You just see them blur and reappear where they're standing and hurl the guns away. The guns from all the corpses are gone. And this is the time when you, Robin, are approaching. Are you approaching stealthily? Are you sprinting? What's your plan? You've been hearing gunfire. You've been hearing conversation.
He would have been coming back sprinting. Buy me time. That's what he was told.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, he would have been sprinting back. And I think depending on how close he gets before somebody stops him, he might have the sense to read the situation to slow down and try to be quieter, but you tell me what supernatural
roll me a mental roll. Let's see how put together he is in this time of absolute crisis.
No successes.
No successes. You all see Robin sprint onto the scene. Robin, you have reappeared bursting out of the woods with a hunting knife in one hand. You find yourself looking at Valerie and John. They are in the center of a group of corpses. Other corpses are in the distance. There are 4 figures standing around them. One close to you, one on the opposite side of this gap, one to the left of them. And in Jack's cage, you see Damon Corthall shirtless. These figures are all unnaturally pale. Corthall has fangs. He's covered in nightmarish tattoos. He's drenched in blood. Jack is missing a right arm, which flops on the ground underneath him. He has a bullet hole punched through him on the side. And you see this blur as these weapons are cast aside, and everyone turns to look at you.
What happened? Okay, well, let us go. Whatever this is, we'll forget it. We'll just let us go, and we won't tell anyone anything about any of this.
Throw the knife aside and join your friends.
My friends are coming with me. We're all going to leave.
I believe your friend Jack has about 30 seconds. He's bleeding very much. And you see Corthall squeeze Jack's side, and it shoots out even brighter of the gap where his right arm once attached to his body.
Yeah, Robin will drop the knife. Maybe not even voluntarily, just like he loses his grip at seeing something so grisly. Yeah.
Excellent. And in a blur, you are thrown into the center gap where Val and John are. And Damon looks at all of you and says, interesting. Reaching forwards, he grabs the flesh of the gap on Jack's arm and twists, sealing the blood in place, stopping the bleeding, but at horrific pain. And you see Jack pass out, just unconscious on his feet, held up by this hand that is holding him in place. And Damon steps out of the cell and forwards to join this menacing compass surrounding you as these figures shift and move, not trading positions, but almost stalking their quarter of this circle around you like predators, like jackals around a body. And he says, you are all so fascinating because one of you is an absolute killer and one of you ran. Oh, ran. And one of you seems to be full of bullets and completely insane. And this one is a useless child. Why, Valerie the demon, do you have these limitations? You can kill so many. You have. You flipped a switch. I don't understand it. You went from refusing to play the game to all the bodies around you now, including this one's arm. Why do you stop instead of going? And why, when you go, do you go so hard?
My dad taught me there would be things like you out there.
So? How does it feel to face the truth, the reality, the indomitable power?
Seems like it's easy fucking pickings, getting people to show up here and be in cages. Pretty pathetic for someone who's supposed to be a demon.
A demon? A demon? Really?
That's what you are, isn't it?
And Damon looks at the other collection of figures around you, and they all laugh. And he says, "Demon? We're vampires."
What?
We're vampires. Fangs, blood-drinking, night-dwelling, super-powered vampires.
That sounds like demons. It's just a different name for demons.
We were hoping to identify a super predator, one who could join our ranks and strengthen the night. I believe that predator might be you, Valerie the demon, but I'm not sure. Do you want all that eternity has to offer? Do you want power and strength and to be feared and to kill and to just live out every beautiful dark dream in a sea of dark miracles? If you do, the price is simple. Kill these 3 and become a god.
The only thing I want from you is for you to fight me, one-on-one, then let him go.
Challenge accepted. You might want to hold this close. And he throws Jack to you, John, as the strongest of the group. And the arm, the severed space, is freed. And you are seeing the blood begin to pump again, but more weakly. You are seeing how pale Jack is as his body thumps to the ground in front of you.
Shallow breath. Jack. Shallow breath. And I'm just going to try and clamp it shut with the remaining strength I have, knowing one of my arms is not working to its best at this moment. So I'm squeezing it shut. I'm like, oh, over here, Robin. Robin, you gotta help me. You gotta help me.
Yeah,
There's too much blood.
Robin's there to help. And he'll get down with John and say, somewhat cryptically, but hopefully John gets it, just like, I made it. It's going to be okay.
And I use my other arm, my limping arm, and I just pat you on the shoulder.
Okay, let's take care of Jack.
Yeah.
Can you both roll me a physical roll? No specialty, but we will be adding together your total successes.
Well, 1 success.
2
successes. You are clamping down on this arm together. If it was not both of you, this would not work. There is still some blood leaking out, but it has been slowed. This is still a very desperate circumstance as you see how pale and wheezing he is. Jack is breathing, but barely. Val, you find yourself standing near a dying friend.
Yep.
Over a collection of corpses you have made with demons watching you. And the leader of these demons stretching out his arms, tossing his blade aside, looking up at the sky, covered in blood and tattoos. And he looks at you and says, "You said you wanted to fight. Well, then the tournament rules have changed." And he yells, and you see all of the figures in the distant cages shaking them, terrified, having realized that this has changed. This has gone from something that could be won to something where the price of victory is so horrible. Mm-hmm. They will not survive this night no matter what. And perhaps they won't survive at all if you take this deal. Damon yells, "Myself, Damon Corthall, before the eyes of the Sabbat High Court, Acacia Reed, Isadora Carmichael, and Pierre DuPont, versus Valerie the Demon. This may be the last fight of your life, Valerie. Would you like to be known as a demon, or is there another name you'd prefer announced?"
I'm Val Miller, and I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Val Miller! Knowing you, I'm imagining this is where you attack, but I figured I'd give you the option of waiting until he's done announcing.
Absolutely.
What is your strategy? You are looking at this muscular but lean figure in front of you, drenched in blood, covered in tattoos, but unarmed, busy announcing the titles of everyone in this fight.
Yeah. And before running out, Val's been sweating from all this. She smudges down, so her makeup is just black streaks all down her face. And then she knows she can't win this. There's no way. It's one of those, there's always someone bigger and stronger. This is, maybe even if she dies, they will let them go. There's just no other options here. There's no weapons. So it's just getting in as close as possible and trying to grapple this guy, get him on the ground, punch him, do whatever. It's dirty fighting, extremely dirty fighting.
I love it. Roll me a strength and brawl. Mm-hmm. Add your grapple specialty.
And this is also, it's because she feels like it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to get killed by this person. She's not even looking to protect herself. Like if she's grabbing this guy and accidentally pulling an arm out of her own socket or something like that, it's like, it doesn't matter. Just do anything she can.
I like it.
Four successes.
With 4 successes, you are launching yourself forwards, and Damon is matching you, move for move. You are lunging to grab him, and he hits the same height and stops your hands in place. You swing back to throw a punch, and he dodges aside and gently and deftly spins your arm away. Robin, from the outside, it's watching Bruce Lee with a low-level villain he is toying with before a strike that will end this fight. Val, you're in the midst of this as Damon says, "You could have been so much more, and yet you're this." Slap aside a blow, superhumanly fast, flip you around, and the two of you circle again.
Mm-hmm. It's blinking tears out of her eyes between the smeared makeup and also just like, this is how this ends, I guess. This is... What else is there to even do? And feeling very like accepting this, and also feeling very frustrated that it's like, yeah, when it took a long time to get comfortable. And that's when the demons show up. It took a long time to feel like things were going to work out and get comfortable. And then there it is. So like feeling in these last moments of like, I was stupid. And yeah, I guess I had fun and we watched movies and it had a little bit of levity. But what is the answer? Because it's the difference between the things that her father told her and the things that Rufus Cross told her about, like, well, if you're not living for something, then you're dead already. So it's like, so what was the point of all of this? It's just very top of her mind.
And that's when Damon blurs towards you. Roll me the same thing. Strength and brawl with grapple specialty added in.
5 successes.
Damon lunges forwards, and you manage to land some solid blows on him as he cackles. You were punching and lashing out and trying to hook limbs, but you can't break the bones you would. You don't have the control over digits. You pop all of his fingers out on one hand, and he smiles, flicks his wrist, and they pop back in. You can't even tell if you are hurting him with the attacks that you are doing.
Yep. It's
To build
weaponless.
his health stats here.
Yeah. Weaponless and everything. It's like, of course, how is she supposed to be able to do anything? It's just, she's not going to stop. She's not going to stop until one person's body falls apart.
And they're back and circling again. Robin and John, you are watching from the side, holding Jack's ruined torso together. It is clear Val is meeting her match. Damon is toying with her. Damon could be, from what you can tell, maybe just hiding the fact he's not winning. You're not sure. But if you join this fight, you have to leave Jack.
Yeah.
What do the two of you do?
You're telling secrets.
Yeah. Why was that a secret, though?
No, just
You don't
for
trust Ryan?
dramatic impact.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there is a secret whisper from... Was that also John whispering to...
Was
Was
it
that
in
John
character?
whispering to
Was
Robin?
that John whispering to Robin, or was that Guy whispering to Tyler?
That's both.
Wait.
Okay, so
Wait.
it's John because Guy naturally has to be
It's
doing
him,
it.
yeah.
So then, for the benefit of the audience, why doesn't John whisper to Robin, "Hey, yeah, what's up?"
Deja vu. Let's use one of these pieces of the fence. Fuck.
The cage?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, bullets. And let's toss one of these little steakies over to Val. If this is a vampire, let her stake it like a fucking vampire.
Oh, okay. I think I'm faster than you. Are you strong enough to?
No, I'm not. Do it.
I can't do both. I need to help Jack. We need to help Jack.
Okay. Wait. Do you have both of your arms?
I've got all my arms, both my legs.
All right.
I'm only missing a tooth, but that's from another
Okay,
thing.
hold on. I'll do it. Okay. I have one free arm. It's a
You're gonna do it?
We have to toss this.
But John, Jack.
I'm holding on with my one hand. That's been the case. So I'm going to
But
use
I'm
my
helping. We're both just barely keeping Jack alive, the two of us.
And I don't think it's as big a deal as you're thinking. You hold on. You hold on with both your hands.
This debate is going to continue. Val, I need you to roll me.
We gotta go fast.
Roll me.
We gotta go fast.
Roll me a strength and brawl with your grapple bonus.
Big hit. Do a big hit. Yeah. Get him.
I got 6 successes and 3 are 10s, so it's 8 successes.
Oh, I really wish we threw that steak right about now.
Alrighty, you lash out and do a series of brutal blows and attacks. You begin doing damage. You manage to break an arm. You manage to punch through a rib. They still snap back into place. As it happens, horrifyingly. But you are lashing out, and Damon is starting to laugh less. You are hearing snickering from the surrounding demons who are watching this battle, and you are realizing there is more at stake for Damon than just a fist fight. Yeah. There's a certain amount of power he has here socially that he may be losing as this happens. And he says, your father may have taught you well. At the same time, I can survive a bunch of rounds like this. You get one.
Bring it on.
We cut back over to a discussion about how to throw a piece of wood or not. from a fence arcade.
So here's the thing. Shut up. Wilson. There's got to be tons of broken pieces around us, right? Because some of it's shattered. There's other pieces that were, shot away. I broke some. I'm clasping him with one hand. You're clasping with both of your hands. So I'm just going to grab one and just like, I'm just going to be like, and I'm just going to toss it. Or no, you know what? Fuck it. That's too much effort. I'm going to slide it all the way.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you can't slide. This is dirt. I'm going to toss it.
Overhand.
Yeah.
Back to the
No, maybe. But wait.
I'm sorry.
I feel like it was made pretty clear to us that it was taking everything we had to keep Jack from dying, and you're going to be like, I'm going to take the pressure off a little just to throw some wood.
I like it. He's making the throw.
I can always come back, though.
Okay.
Sorry. Fuck.
I will say, you throw. So the throw is easy. You do that one-handed, but we do have to do the check to see how much you can hang on to Jack.
Okay.
So can I get a physical roll from you, Robin, and from John? Can I get a physical roll but half? So you have one arm you are not using versus the arm that is being used in this challenge.
Fuck. That's 2 failures.
1 success.
1 success. The moment the throw happens, it shifts the balance of pressure and blood starts spraying out of the body, just spurting into a massive puddle before you both turn back and try to clamp it shut. This is the moment where Jack stops breathing. Meanwhile, over at the fight.
That was like a single spurt.
Jack? That was the last spurt he needed.
He has
gave
a
up his
thimble of
final
blood in him.
spurt.
That was all.
Just a little bit of juice just jumping around his veins.
Duracell battery on its last charge. Oh my god.
Just shake it.
He has his right arm severed.
No, yes,
for like 45 seconds.
Fully, yes.
It's a long time.
Guy just doesn't want to accept how brutal this game is.
Look how big John is. Like, it would take him a year to die from blood loss.
All right, Val. This stake is flying through the air, and you hear the huh sound, but you realize Damon hears it as well. It is a race to grab this
it.
out of
Yes,
the air
yes.
instead of a slow catch. Can you roll me a dexterity? And I would say firearms works for me, or athletics.
Okay. I'll do the firearms then if I can take it.
You can.
Okay.
It's not.
The stress of this game is getting the guy.
He's only 18. He's still so many years of getting us coffee.
So many coffees unmade.
Oh, that's a good face.
It's only 3 successes.
With 7 successes. Damon reaches into the air, grabs the stake, flips it around in the hand, almost in a magician style of rolling it over the fingers before he comes in at you and says, "Look, your baggage is helping." And he's going to lash out and try to shank you with this.
Absolutely.
Can you roll me a dexterity and athletics?
Sure.
Oh, this is going to be a tough episode for Guy.
This is how this be out here. Uh-oh.
No, God,
No, it's okay.
no.
It's okay. Don't worry. This is
I got 3 successes.
fabulous. He rolled 1. You are dodging as this stake is flying through the air, and you're seeing him saying, "Why won't you just die?"
Same you.
The fight continues.
Oh, my God.
Can you roll me? I'm imagining you're just going with strength,
Yeah.
grapple, brawl. You
Yeah.
get to factor that in. He is going to be rolling with his weapon because he is going for the same
Yeah.
staking he was previously.
And I'm trying to brawl. I'm trying to brawl that arm. If I can brawl it into him, if I can keep it away from me.
You can do that at a -2 die
I will
pool if you
do
want
that.
to target it specifically.
I will do that. It's pretty important.
Yep.
3 3 successes.
3 successes. You guys are at a standstill. You managed to snatch the wrist, and you are holding the stake as he is supernaturally pushing it towards you, where he kicks out a back ankle, and you fall onto the ground, and it's him over you, pushing the stake down towards you as you struggle to hold it off.
Yep.
And he says, "This is what your kind deserves."
And she's just putting all of her effort, not into sassing back, but just holding this at bay. Just all of her muscles, all of her core, everything. And it's just like, I have trained for this. Ah!
And we look over at John and Robin over Jack.
And yeah, seeing that Jack's not breathing anymore, knowing that Cross isn't here yet, knowing what he said for me to do, Robin will say, I want it. I want the power. I'll do it. I'll take the deal. I'll let me fight her. I can beat her. I can.
And a figure blurs over to you, a woman with raven black hair hanging down along her face. You can see the fangs, the glittering dark eyes of her black, torn, ancient, earth-crusted dress as she looks down at you from above, her hands on her knees, crouching, and says, "Then kill the big one."
There's no fun. There's not no fun in that. I fought her. She's fun to fight. You've seen it. You know. You want a show? We can still make this a show. I'll show you something. You haven't seen me fight yet.
Roll me a social and add your specialty to it, because this is a good pitch.
I love fun. Here for fun.
And ask her if you can use the rotary phone again. It's a great plan. Always works.
2 successes? Pretty please?
That would be fun to watch. Take your hands off the little one.
I'll slowly bring the hands up.
You too. You too.
No. I'm keeping them alive. Oh, right. Fuck. Okay.
Damon. This just got interesting. I don't care about interesting. I care about it. You're going to stop, Damon. And in a blur, he's kicked off of you, Val, and away. And you find yourself rising up. And this earth-caked, dirty, haunted figure says, "These two are going to fight. One will live, and one will be made us. Do me proud," she says, pointing a sharpened fingernail at you, Robin. Go.
What the fuck are you doing, Robin?
Just get up and fight me.
You want me to fight you?
Yep.
Yes, and we'd like you to use knives.
What?
And the figure blurs and throws a knife at each of your feet, a curved, ritual, disturbing blade, both of them already bloodstained, though clearly they have not been used in this fight. They smell like dried blood.
Robin looks at the knife and then he looks at Val.
Val picks up the knife and over her shoulder throws it back up into where the people watching were before.
Okay.
Robin will kick his knife that's on the ground in front of him just to the side and assume a boxing stance and start bouncing.
Fabulous. Can you both roll me a dexterity and athletics?
The knife slides into Jack.
Physical 4. Nothing.
2 successes.
A knife blurs through the air from where you had thrown it as a figure disappears and reappears, and you manage to dodge aside spinning out of the way, taking no damage, Val. And you have that moment of relief, that moment of a breath escaping your body finally that you had been holding in that moment. And that's when you turn to see Robin. And he stands before you, having also dodged a blade, having spun to the side, having landed on both feet. And he has this brief moment of triumph where he stands in a Bruce Lee style pose, having done the dodge, ready to fight you, ready to buy the time, and ready to have this all happen. And that's when blood starts pouring out of his neck. And you realize the slash is deep and to the bone, and blood is spraying out of him. And you see the vampire who hosted the fight with her arm extended say, "Oops." She got a messy successy for throwing the blade at you. And your hands go to your neck,
Yep.
Robin, and you find yourself staring at Val. And you see John crouched down next to you and Jack's lifeless body, and you realize it's over. You can manage to plug the gap for just long enough to say your final words to your friends and this world. What do you say?
Liv, he's coming. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Val will just run to try to close the distance, and as he's bleeding, just try to grab onto his neck and shove him back onto the ground to try to just hold his neck back in. No.
And you are trying to do that, staring into Robin's eyes as they go blank, as they lose focus, as the rattle happens within him that you've never heard before, but will never forget. And that's when you feel the knife sink into your back. Mm-hmm. And you hear Damon in your ear just say, "And so it ends because of baggage."
Just the noise, and she's just staying there. And
the knife comes out and goes into your back again, and out and into your back again. And each time there's a strike, Damon goes, "Stab, stab, stab." And you look over and he says, "Don't forget this one. Any final words, big man?"
Go fuck yourself, man.
Defiant to the end. How weak. And with a flick of his wrist, you see the blade begin to move, and then you see it in the socket of John's eye, stabbing through into his head. John, there's a moment of sharp pain as this blade sinks into your skull, and you realize in a fluke that you are still alive for a brief moment. You have a blade sunk into your head. Jack is dead at your feet. Robin is dead in Val's arms, and she's been stabbed multiple times, and the nightmare figures are looking at you where you stand. But you are bigger than any man. You have more blood to bleed. Mm-hmm. What do you do as your final act of defiance?
I'm going to do what I wasn't able to do before. I'm going to take up one of the shards of a broken post, and I'm just going to plug him right in the chest, right in the heart.
It takes everything you have in your system. But you do that, stabbing the stake into Damon's heart, freezing him like a statue in place, mid-laugh, unable to stop, and you see a flash of terror in his eyes before the light and the life begins to leave you. And Val, you've been stabbed. Blood is bubbling inside your lungs. You're coughing, and blood is coming out. And you see John fall, and you realize you have this last brief moment to connect with him. Is there anything you say as you watch him die?
it's just a connection with his eyes right against each other, and just thank you.
And he goes limp, and he's gone. And you realize the friends around you are just meat.
Yeah.
And as the 3 other nightmarish figures close in, all with blades in hand, all stabbing downwards, hitting you at major joints, a shoulder, the other shoulder, a knee, an ankle, just leaving you bleeding and devastated on the ground. You see bared fangs as they look down at you. And they all say, "Ooh, baggage. What a waste. She could have been so much more. She could still be more. She's refused the gift. Let me ask one more time. They've all died, and you can't seem to let it go." And the dirt-encrusted woman leans down close to your ear, just says, "Do you want to live forever? Do you want to carry the beauty of this moment into eternity? Do you want to know their loss forever and make everyone else feel that pain again and again?"
And Val turns her head and with a whole mouthful of blood, spits blood on this lady. "Fucking kill me."
"Oh, well, she wants it to end. Let's do this together." And she stands up, and the 3 of them rise up and are beginning to lunge down when there is an explosion of gunfire and a hail of bullets come out of the woods. And instead of watching these figures dodge aside, you see these bullets hitting them, striking them, and burning. Within the blows, you see smoke billowing off of them, and you hear them begin to shriek at an inhuman level. And in a blur, you see a figure appear amongst them out of the woods. They are moving as fast, but somehow this figure is faster, and you are seeing flashes of silver as it stabs into each of them, severing limbs, severing heads, and in a moment you are surrounded by dead bodies. You are surrounded by the dead of the dead, and you look up with your fading vision, and you see Rufus Cross looking down at you saying, "God damn it, I'm so sorry. This is not how this is supposed to happen. What the fuck are you doing here?"
Just coughing up blood. "I'm sorry. We got robbed."
Jesus Christ. The gym didn't matter. None of this mattered. And I understand that you're sorry, but here's the thing. It's me who's going to be sorry, and you're going to understand why. And Rufus Cross opens his mouth, and you see fangs, and they punch down and into your neck, and he drains you into the darkness.
And I think the last thing she feels is even more regret of even the nice thing that I had, even this man who was so nice to me. It's not a man. It's another demon.
And that is the night you became a vampire.
This episode of Canada by Night features the voices of Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, and Guy Bradford, alongside storyteller Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra. Canada by Night's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Cheaps by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. Canada by Night is a spin-off of the Dum Dums and Dice series Blood and Syrup. If you want to hear about what happened to Everett before he came to New Haven, look for Blood and Syrup anywhere podcasts can be found. For all things Dum Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, my kindred. Sleep well in this world of darkness.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Alarain Okapi, Madre de Gatos, Mithrian, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous,
Kaikoa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, Corpse Knight Silver, Adam Mir 101, The Dankler, Anticore 7, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.